What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of The Creatures, and we're returning to the Right Now single, 1983. Thank you, as always, to Nikola and all those that are following this larger, related series of deep dives, which is to say, also the Susie and the Banshees deep dive, and eventually the solo Susie Sue deep dive. In any case, the second track on the Right Now EP, or single, is Weathercade. So I'm amused by the phrasing. I don't think this is a standard word. Cade is a suffix that means a procession, and thus a moving grouping and sequence. So just taking the word at face value, the idea of a procession of weather, a sequence and particular series of weather events or atmospheres or situations. So, I mean, even that is a bit abstract, but perhaps it could be the backdrop for some tale between people, or maybe it's about the emotional mood reflected by or represented by a weathercade as it relates to, atmospheric conditions. In any case, I'll try to catch what I can. Let's give it a listen. This is The Creatures. The tune is Weathercade, and it's the second track on a 3-track single EP called Right Now from 1983. What an interesting tune. So I'd say, number one, there's still a bit of the tribal, jungle feeling that some of the tracks from Feast conveyed, and I think there's xylophone or some sort of struck melodic instrument in there, and also the rhythms, or at least the specific percussion configuration, did seem to evolve over the course of the tune. And I enjoy Susie's lead vocals, and then there's those constantly pulsing, tribal or like ethereal vocals that were in the background, which I don't know if that was also Susie or if that was, I mean, I assume it was, but they were, very different than her lead vocals, so maybe it was somebody else. Nevertheless, there was sort of a layered feeling to the vocals on the track because of that. And then that really kind of elegant melodic vocal Susie did right at the end, that caught my ear. And yeah, lyrically, it feels like we are making visual and atmospheric references to weather configurations or events like a bright new day, and talking about the weatherman, but then also talking about like shoes and them being made for walking or moving. And in that regard, again, the idea of a cade, a procession. So, not a motorcade, but it feels like there is some motor reference in terms of like mobility metaphor being made here. So yeah, it feels like it's kind of a conceptual piece, and the idea again of a succession of weather events reflective of emotional feelings or moods or like visual frameworks for perception. It feels like there's some of that going on, though that again with the reference to like shoes, it feels like it's more than just that. It's about the movement, the succession, the procession itself. In any case, a quirky little tune, and I enjoy the continuation of some of the feeling of Feast on this. So once again, shout out to Nikola as well as Mark and many others who've been commenting along the way. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.